In this episode of our India series, we arrive in the jewel of Rajasthan. Known as the City of Lakes or Venice of the East, we explore the beautiful city of Udaipur. From its unique dance performances to the second largest palace in India, we explore the best the city has to offer.
We see how Udaipur gets its glorious reputation, taking a boat ride out onto Pichola Lake, visiting a serene island palace, complete with chai and a moment to take it all in.
Back on land, we roll up our sleeves for an immersive Rajasthani cooking class where we learn to prepare the region's bold, flavorful dishes. Come along as we discover majestic Udaipur, the Venice of the East.
Our Rajasthan journey continues after exploring the vibrant alleys and fortresses of the blue city, Jodhpur.
So we're on the bus on the way to Udaipur, and it's just like bumper to bumper traffic. There's a massive pilgrimage to a place called Ramdevra, which is halfway between Bikaner and Jaisalmer, and just tens of thousands of people dressed up and making their pilgrimage down. It's interesting to see, you know, they're all dressed up and they're all sitting on the roofs of the trucks and stuff. That's right, so we're doing the obligatory show off the room. It's quite nice as well, nice area.
Beautiful room.
So,
and it includes waters.
Wait, where are we, Miranda? Why don't you give us an introduction?
We're in Udaipur, apparently one of the most beautiful cities in India.
Exactly, the Venice of India. And we're about to go on a walk after lunch, and then we're going to do what?
Couples massage.
Woo!
I'm so down for that.
Ayurvedic massage. That's nice. So we've been to the Golden City, we've been to the Blue City, and now we're in the City of Lakes here in Rajasthan, Udaipur, known as one of the top destinations in the world to visit. So it regularly gets voted in many different magazines and travel sort of blogs as being one of the best places on earth to visit. Absolutely stunning. It's known as the Venice of India, and you can see sort of all these hotels and buildings built right on the waterfront here. This is actually a man-made tank or a man-made lake, and it actually connects up to several man-made lakes that run in a bit of a network to source water throughout the region. In the background there, we have the very famous palace there, which is now a hotel owned by the Taj Group, which is one of the most esteemed groups of hotels here in India. It's a 5-star hotel, which used to be a summer palace for the royals going back a couple of hundred years. So we'll get to see that up a little bit closer tomorrow, and also we'll talk a little bit about the Monsoon Palace, which we'll be able to see up on the hills too later on. But it's a beautiful city, and we're looking forward to exploring it in detail over the next 2 days.
As the sun sets, we head to Lake Dharohar, a soulful cultural show inside the Bagorkia Valley that brings Rajasthan's traditions to life with music, dance, and storytelling. One of the highlights is the stunning chari dance, where women gracefully balance pots or chari, sometimes lit with flames, on their heads, dancing with reverence and breathtaking precision.
The puppet segment celebrates Rajasthan's ancient Kathputli art, using handcrafted wooden puppets to narrate legends, fables, and moral tales passed down through generations.
Next comes the enchanting Mayur dance, inspired by the love story of Krishna and Radha. Dancers in peacock-feathered costumes mimic the bird's courtship, moving with fluid grace in a joyful tribute to beauty and the monsoon season.
The powerful folktale Bag Yuddha unfolds, where a warrior mounted on a man dressed as a tiger enters combat against a rival. Deeply rooted in tribal lore, the performance honours bravery, loyalty, and the mythical bond between man and beast.
In the Matkaba Vai dance, a woman balances towering stacks of brass pots while spinning across glass, swords, and steel plates with remarkable ease. This tradition began as a way for desert women to showcase balance and grace while carrying water, and today it's a powerful display of endurance and pride.
We wrap up the evening with dinner at a scenic rooftop restaurant, one of the filming locations from the Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, where stars like Dame Judi Dench once shared scenes above the lake.
Alright, so it's our second day in Udaipur and we have quite a full itinerary for today. So first we're going to visit a temple and a really large palace, and then after that we're going to go on a boat trip on the beautiful lake right out here, and then we're going to do a cooking class, which should be fun. And after that we're going to look at some miniature paintings, which this place is very well known for.
Due to the rain, we've actually changed the order of things. So we're actually doing the palace first and then the temple second. So this is the Palace of Udaipur, which is actually the largest palace in Rajasthan and the second largest in India. And it was built in 1553. It took 425 years to construct. It's palace is absolutely amazing. It's absolutely epic. 25 different rulers that have lived in this building, and it is still owned by the same family today. And you can see here some of these elephants at the side there. They actually used to conduct elephant fights for the entertainment of the king right here in front of the palace. So the rulers of this palace were actually part of a sun dynasty that would actually go and fast whenever they had days like today without the sun. So what they used to do as an alternative, so they didn't have to fast, was actually open up and expose the sun in the background here, and this would be their excuse to have a big feast. So you can see the steps behind me here. This was actually for mounting the elephants, and there's spikes on the walls there that would have been used to block the elephants that would have been attacking and charging here into the palace. And we've got the line, the dynasty of rulers here, known as Maharanas. So Maha, I mentioned earlier, was known as great. In other parts of Rajasthan, they called them Maharaja, which meant great kings. But here, Rana means fighter. So these are the great fighters, the rulers of Udaipur. So we've made our way up through some really narrow and short doorways, and the guide was just explaining that the reason why they're so short is when attackers would come into the palace, they'd have to go head first and duck down, and there'd be a guard waiting on the other side to give them the axe. We've actually climbed up 4 separate floors to get here, and the guide was actually explaining, if you see the trees here, this is technically the ground floor. So they actually carved the palace out of the side of the hill, and that's the only reason why you can grow trees so big. Now, in this room that we're about to enter into, in 1911, there was actually a huge meeting summoned by George V. He wanted to unite the 56 separate independent states of India to have a complete country for the very first time. The king of Udaipur basically refused to attend out of protest and decided to go to Delhi instead. So they actually took his chair and sent it to Delhi and said, well, if you're not going to join us, there it is. That was the first time India was completely united as one state. On the other side of the lake, you can see the Uday Villas, which is the most expensive hotel to stay in Udaipur. The suites start at $16,000 per night. This is the room of Maharana Bhupal Singh Ji, who was paralyzed at a young age, about 13 or 14. in 1940, they actually installed a lift here to bring him up and down. The interesting thing is he used to play a prank. He had the wall carved out to look like a door, and he'd tell his guests to go through, and they'd try and open up the door to get into the lift, and they couldn't get through. It's probably the most beautiful palace we've seen. We're inside the silver gallery, which contains 3.5 tons of silver. So that's on top of, the gold-plated sun and all the other priceless jewels and possessions that these guys own, still owned by the royal family. It's kind of shocking to think that, there is so much wealth certain people have in this country when you see so much poverty on the streets. It's just mind-blowing. So we're on a boat here in Lake Pichola, and we're going to head out over to this little island over here, which is actually owned by the royal family, and we'll be looking straight across to the palace, the summer palace.
At the heart of Udaipur is Lake Pichola, an artificial lake first built in 1362 by local tribesmen and later expanded by Maharana Laka. Ancient ghats like Gangar and Ambrai line its shores, where locals gather for evening prayers and lakefront rituals. The name Venice of the East took hold during British rule as visitors marveled at the dreamy reflections of palaces, bridges, and temples in its waters.
Floating at its centre is the iconic Taj Lake Palace, once a summer retreat for royalty from 1743 to 1746. It is now a world-class heritage hotel. Alongside the opulent Oberoi Uday villas, these regal landmarks are what make Udaipur synonymous with luxury and romance.
Just arrived in Jagmandir Island, which is a 17th century palace. Unlike the other island palace that we have over there, which is now part of the Taj Hotel complex, this one here is actually open to the public. That one over there was built in the 18th century and was used during the filming of the James Bond movie Octopussy. This one here is stunning though. Last time I was here back in 2013, we spent about an hour on this island having sunset cocktails. I've only got a little bit of time right now, so I think we're going to just grab some tea or something.
Within Lake Pichola sits Jagmandir Island Palace. Built in the early 1600s as a royal refuge, it once offered sanctuary to a young Prince Khurram, later known as Emperor Shah Jahan, and its elegant design is believed to have inspired the Taj Mahal.
soaking in the calm of the lake, we return to the city where a deeply memorable experience awaits, one that combines skill, tradition, and a way to satiate our appetites.
So behind us here is the current residence of the royal family. We're learning how to make a classic right now, which is chai masala. Masala is composed of peppercorns, cloves, green cardamom, cinnamon, and ginger. And you can use the black cardamom for the curries, but for chai masala, generally just the green.
In our cooking class, a local teacher shares generations-old techniques passed down through Rajasthani kitchens. It's more than just food, it's a way to connect with culture, support local women, and carry a piece of Udaipur home with us.
Thank you, Janice. So these are usually the snacks that you give to guests. They're made from rice flour, and the colouring in them is actually just food colourings like turmeric and beetroot, spinach, and add a little chaat masala to the top, which is similar to the masala they put in the chai, a little different. Thank you.
No worries.
Fresh and crispy, right?
So good.
So for the curry they use the garam masala, and garam masala actually means spicy or hot masala.
Powder, the red chili powder, both are the same. Coriander powder and center on the garam masala. Garam masala means all spices. Black pepper, cloves, cinnamon, nutmeg, bay leaf, whole red chili, whole turmeric, whole coriander seeds. Blend in the jar, make in powder called garam masala. Garlic turned a little bit golden color, then put in the onion, then after chili. Sometimes you by mistake put first chili, chili seeds will be split and burn the skin. So you always remember you put onion first, so oil temperature will be down. Then put in the chili. Okay.
So one of the secrets to a good curry is a thing called hing, which is actually made from the gum of a tree that's found up in the Himalayas in the mountains, and it's an Ayurvedic spice that they use once they dry it and grind it up, and it's used for digestion. So she was saying with the okra or ladyfingers, never cook it in the water because it's very sticky and it turns into almost like a glue. Cook at a low heat and add a couple of teaspoons of chickpea flour, or tablespoons, sorry, chickpea flour, and that will stop it from becoming gluey.
high flame, the vegetable will be burned there. It will never inside the water. And you check time to time. So I will cover that and cover the
It's like blue.
Yeah, that is the reality.
As we prepare okra, mix fragrant pilau rice, and stir creamy yogurt, each dish becomes part of a larger story, one that ends with the perfect thali.
Ghee.
Just explaining that naan's generally not made at home. Most Indian people don't eat it because it's the process and also the fact that they use yeast. It's not really great for your stomach. You know, people get blocked up and have stomach problems. So generally at home they make the chapati and the paratha.
Only mix. Again put little bit water. Mix and knead. 2-3 minutes to knead them. Then make in a roll.
The Indian thali is more than just a meal. It's a celebration of balance, flavor, and tradition. With sweet, spicy, tangy, and savory dishes arranged on a single platter, it reflects the Ayurvedic philosophy of harmony and the joy of sharing food with others.
All right, Miranda, you ready to try your thali?
Yes.
What do we have there?
We've got veggie pilau, chapati, we've got some okra,
Dal,
and aloo,
gobi. Yeah, aloo is potato, gobi is cauliflower.
and raita.
Raita. So now we're trying the gulab jamun, which is a specialty of Rajasthan. Actually, this one specifically is a specialty of Udaipur, and he was saying that the saying here is you can never only have one. So let's give it a try. Hopefully they got a few more. Are they Moorish?
This is my fourth one.
Fourth one. They're like a donut soaked in honey. Ah, dhanyabad. So we're about to head into Jagdish Mandir, which is the Hindu temple behind me here, dedicated to Lord Krishna. In fact, there's a Krishna festival tomorrow, so they're rehearsing and singing and making music for it. So this was built by Maharana Jagat Singh in 1652. You can still see all the sculptures here, really beautiful detail.
Look at that. Look at the brightness of the colors which are coming out over here. How bright and vivid colors are coming out over here. Or one more, normally I show 3 colors to give you more better idea. Look at the intensity of the color blue here.
Oh, wow.
So red, we are getting it from red oxide. The yellow, we get it from sulfur. Green from malachite. Black color and the white color, both comes from the metal, zinc metal. And the blue either comes from indigo or from lapis lazuli. Start with little bit of shadings here. Base color on the main subject like red and blues on the elephant. shadings everywhere on the main subject. We do borders, we do jewelry, and then we are coming to the intricate part.
After admiring the handmade art, we purchase a few pieces for our new home. We then spend one final moment on Lake Pichola by the serene waters of Gangor Ghat, soaking in the spirit of Udaipur.
After an amazing time in the City of Lakes, we have one final dinner at a delicious tandoori restaurant before an early night to prepare us for the next big adventure that awaits. Join us in our next video as we navigate bustling markets and hike to a magnificent pilgrimage viewpoint in the holy city of Pushkar.
Hey guys, just a quick message. We really hope you enjoyed this video.
If there's anyone you think would enjoy our videos, please share and help us grow global travel stories. We thank you for your support.